Hello, hello, hello. I feel like if my Friday the 13th crew were awake, they would be hating on me right now. They all have a ton of hours in this game too, so whatever. This is one of the features that people want in Friday the 13th is here you can play as the killer or you can play as a survivor. You got these other options here, and like if you pick to play as a killer, you are guaranteed to be the killer. And Friday the 13th right now, it's a randomly generated thing. Like you can join a game and if say everybody decided I'm going to be the killer, then only one person's going to be it. It's just going to shuffle that for the next game. But if somebody else joins the lobby, then it resets the whole progress or whatever. So you never know. But here, I play as a survivor, and this is the character that I decided to stick with for like the first couple of days that I tried the game with my friend. Because so you got all these characters here, but because all the perks are so important and they're tied to specific characters, if I switch to like somebody else, it makes it that much harder for me to like go back to using that person. But again, plenty of people have leveled up all these characters. Up in the top corner, you've got your survivor rank, which you get these little pip things for getting a ton of points in each game. So that's the difference. There we go. These daily rituals have been stuck like this for the past 3 weeks or so. Like they were working fine, and one day it just kind of stopped. That's it. Also, Friday the 13th is always I think it's 7 versus 1. This game is 4 versus 1, and there's like a ton of different killers, so that's kind of cool. I'm just gonna leave my mic on because it's too hard to hold T in this game and do stuff. But yeah, like again, freaking perks in this game are everything, and that's one thing that I cannot stand. And the other thing is the concept of face camping. Friday the 13th super lame cheap tactic is you spawn as Jason and you go to where the car is, where either car is or the yellow house, and you usually can catch like 2 or 3 people really quick then, and you can literally go in the house and kill them before they can do anything. So you can get rid of somebody in, I would say, like 45 seconds. It's the lamest thing in the world. I don't do it personally. If I get annoyed at the people I'm playing with, I will do it. Like if nobody's talking or somebody in the previous game was a complete dick, or I can tell like nobody's actually trying to work together, when I get to play as Jason, I will fucking murder all of them. But that means that like when it happens to me, which happens quite a bit, just because of the character I play as, I guess, I don't know, maybe it's luck, low luck or whatever, I tend to be one of the first people that gets killed. So if I get killed in 30 to 45 seconds in Friday the 13th, I only get 15 experience points, and then I have to sit there and just wait for 20 minutes for the next game to start, which kind of sucks. So this game, you can already tell, it looks a little bit different. You only have one goal, which is, well, survive, of course, but if you look straight ahead, there's a generator. There's actually 2. Shit. I need to get out of here. Fuck me. Alright, so there's 3 generators in my area. Look, somebody's hit. Somebody's already hit. That's a generator right there. This is a hook. The killer has to take you to one of these hooks, put you on them, and then your teammates can try to rescue you, or you can try to get down. If you fuck up getting down, you lose a bunch of health, and your timer gets shorter. A lot of killers, what they do is the first person to get on the hook, we're not gonna make it. It's already going bad. But the first person that gets on the hook, they just sit there and just stare at them. And this is the whole game. It's just repairing generators. So I'm gonna sit here and eventually get skill checks on the pop once they hit space and meter changes. That heartbeat sound means that there's a killer nearby. Fortunately, I don't know which one it is because my freaking volume's turned down low. Also, if you notice me jumping around, it's because I am in a game that is currently lagging. It just happened again. So this means that this game is going to be, on top of already being kind of annoying, this is going to be even worse than normal. Here's these crows here. There's the crows. I mean, they're crows. And they see you. Alright, so that person's down. That means that I'm kind of sort of open to work on this thing over here. But when the crows fly away, it's just like a sign to go, hey, somebody's over here. If you're paying attention as the killer, most killers don't. That killer is leaving that person on the ground, probably in hopes of getting somebody else to run over there. And I'm literally just going to sit here and just tap space. This is all you do. This is it. So this is the joke that everybody has about Friday the 13th. It's like Jason knocks like the power in your area. It's like, oh, go play Dead by Daylight. Just go repair generators. So that person's on the hook. So the mistake that I'm going to make now, especially since I don't know which killer it is because I suck at this game, is I'm going to try to get towards them. There's another player over there. So I think that's the Wraith. So that character... The killer that we're fighting against right now, right there they go. You have no defense against them. Friday the 13th, at least it gives you the option of, like, doing shit. There's also no fear in this game, so right now I'm hiding, and this guy doesn't know I'm here. If I start running, what they see is they see claw marks showing where, like, I'm running to the woods, so he's getting chased. Let's see if he gets me killed. This is bullshit. That guy right there might have just got me killed. He's an asshole. Here they come. Damn it. We're headed back over this way. I don't know where though. I can't see anything. Ah, there we are. So now they're going to put them back on this hook. And if that was the same person, they're about to die. So now they're going to stand here and be invisible or something. I want to say I can kind of see them moving around. I can't tell when they head towards me though, because I suck at the game. So they're dead. Had I gone to rescue them, the killer would have got me. It's fucked up right now though, is because I can't see anything. I'm probably gonna die anyway. Trying to rescue this person. There we go. So you have to, depending on the number of players in the game, you have to turn on a certain number of generators and then power up the exit and then get out. There's only 2 exits, and the number of generators that you have to start off to power up is always 5. So once more people leave, like, or once more people get killed or whatever, it's less and less that you have to power up. This killer's here, and he's heading towards me like I don't fucking see him. It's a piece of shit. Fuck you. I'll just go and rescue this dude, and what's going to happen here, this is the Dead by Daylight meta game. That this person is just going to kind of sit here and watch both of us, and he's probably going to put this dude in the hook, because the second he goes back to the hook, because his health was low, he already got caught. I think it's like an instant kill, where he's going to be instantly in critical condition or whatever. Oh, here comes the killer. This is, I just don't think that this part here is very fun. And since there's no in-game chat, like, what the fuck is the point? Alright, so this person's upstairs working the generator. This dude over here is kind of running. Hopefully he's not sprinting because it's making him away. And I'm just stuck here. This is Dead by Daylight. Like, after a certain number of games, this kind of loses interest. Like right now I have to think like, alright, well this guy up here is just sitting up here, and the killer's downstairs anyway, and there's this dude all the way over here, so he's clearly not going to come save me. So honestly my best option is just to kill myself, because that guy over there is dead, and I'm going to struggle because I get almost no experience. This is the problem with Dead by Daylight, which just happened there. That's the problem with the game. As a perfect example of this thing that typically around in this game. Like, at this point, nobody bothers to say anybody else will be in the match because I'm with you, because the killer is probably just going to be there, and if you save them, they're going to die, and then you're going to die. Also, if you look at my survivor rank in the corner, your survivor rank goes down if you don't get a certain number of points. So I could have survived. If I got like 7,000 points in that round, I would have lost part of my survivor rank. You have to have at least like 12,000 or keep going up, which is also stupid. But yeah, you can look over here too, and you can tell like, alright, everybody here has like all of these perks. Everybody's already equipped. I have 2. I'm level 20. These people are level 18, but they could have been playing for, who knows, like 60, 70 hours or whatever by now. Actually, let's see. This person, the person that's at the top of the list, even though they are rank 18, they have 103 hours in the game. So, I feel like when you play Friday the 13th, like, you do get perks and stuff, but it's not completely dependent on perks. Like, you don't really have to rely on those. This is your perk system in this game. Friday the 13th, it's randomly generated. And here, each character has their own tree. I don't know if the tree is random or whatever. And you use your blood points, where this is up here, to unlock other stuff. Hold on, man. Anyway, so whatever. And so this stuff here, I'm just going to use this as an example. I'm going to go ahead and get this. So what that is, that's an add-on for an item. The way that items work in this game, I wish I got that down here, but I got this instead. The way that items work in this game is so, you have your character, here's all my perks here. This is my only level 3 perk. Items. So when you play the game, one of the perks I have right here, Plunderer's Instinct, shows me chests that are nearby up to 24 meters away. So I can go to that chest, look in it, and I might get a cool item or whatever. If you bring an item, or if you find one, when you die, if you get put on a hook and you just die, you lose that item. The items also have a limited number of charges, so this has 130 charges, which it doesn't really make sense. It's the little meter, like when you use the item, it just slowly uses up more and more charges. It's not 130 uses. It could be like 130 seconds worth of power. So if I was to take, say, this toolbox here, if I die, that toolbox is gone. If I live and I use the charge, it's gone. But you can put on add-ons to make this thing more useful. So this lets me break hooks, and it also lets me speed up the generators when I try to turn them on. And you have all this other stuff that you can attach to it also. But if you notice, in the corner, I have like 6 spring clamps or whatever. So I can attach this, but if I die, which is probably going to happen, like I'd say 75 to 80% of the games I play, you lose all of this stuff here. So I'm always just like, well, what would I use this for? You're like, oh, well, because it's disposable. That's the idea, is that you use those. And I'm like, no, that doesn't make any sense, because the second that you use them, then you die, and then you sit there and you hold on to these items because you're like, well, I'm not going to get to use the item anyway, so the whole thing is pointless. I don't feel like using this here is going to be like, well, this is going to raise my chances of winning. I feel like it's just like, well, I'm just going to waste this thing. Maybe when I understand the game better, maybe then it'll be useful. Who knows? Slightly increases that, so I will attach that. And see, I want to use this, but I only have one clean rag, and I played this game for about 25 hours, and I've only got one of these once. And then I have offerings, which are stupid. Some of them are cool. Calls upon the enemy for dimmed moonlight. This makes the level darker. The rest of these, where it says like increases the chances of being sent to whatever. Friday the 13th, you get to pick a map. Dead by Daylight, you get to use these offerings, and that raises the chance of going to whatever level's on there. McMillan Estate, Blackwater Swamp, Coldwind Farm, Haddonfield, Leary's Memorial Institute. So I could use this, but if somebody else uses one, say I use this here, and this is uncommon, and then somebody else uses like a rare or an epic version of that for whatever reason, then theirs overrides mine, and then I lose mine anyway too. All this stuff here is just like, the idea is that you keep playing the game to get more items, to use them, to get more items, so you can get more experience points, so you can get more perks. But I feel like that's the game, and playing this part of the game, like the actual like part where you're just repairing generators and escaping, is kind of boring, because it always ends up being the same thing. It's what just happened there of like, well, I'm on a hook, these other two people clearly are going to come for me, so I'm just going to kill myself, because they're not going to show up. It never happens. And then when you're dead, why would you stick around in the game? Friday the 13th, when you die, even if it's 45 seconds in, you have a small chance of coming back as Tommy Jarvis, which is like a second respawn. Plus, in that game, you have defensive items. So there's just a lot about these two games that are completely different, and I appreciate that they both exist, and I can see why someone like one over the other. But personally, I would always pick Friday the 13th as my game I'm going to recommend to people. Like, hey, what should I play? Go get Friday the 13th. Well, there's this other one game that's $20. Like, yeah, I mean, if you like perks, look at this. I'm level 19. I have all these hours in this game, but I still have the same starting equipment for like potential outfits I can wear, because you can't get more of those unless you raise your survivor rank supposedly, and I suck too much to do that, so it's just hopeless. Just feeds into the system of just like, well, do I want to play this? And what I found is also messed up is in that last game I got like 4,000 experience points or blood points or whatever. If you play as the killer, you typically get like 13, 14, 15,000. Friday the 13th has the same issue too. Like when you play as Jason, like even if you get maybe like 4 kills, you get so much more experience points than most survivors do. So kinda sucks. And this over here, since this doesn't work, this also screws up my experience point earning. But the game also, like some of the stuff in this game is really cool. Like I feel like when you get chased in this game, because Friday the 13th has defensive options, like that's cool, but Jason has a tendency to just, most people have a tendency to just like oh, you want to fight me? I'm just going to grab you and then murder you. Don't fight. What's the point in fighting if you don't have a gun? If you try to melee the person, it's like 50-50 if you hit them, and then if you get close to hitting them, they can just grab you out of that. So I haven't been playing as much Friday the 13th because I'm waiting for them to change that. I'm hoping they do. And this game, when you run, escaping is kind of difficult, and there's a lot of weird stuff. Let's see if I can do this one match with my toolbox just to show you this. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh, when you're running, a lot of people have like infinite loops that they go through, or they get really good at evading the target or the killer. If you, with certain killers, or maybe all of them, if you can break line of sight, they can't go as fast, so you end up like constantly trying to like dodge in and out of trees and pull over barricades and stuff, which is cool. It's really cool. Or like you're constantly like jumping through windows and crap, trying to slow them down. Like that feeling is awesome. And I feel like Friday the 13th isn't quite there, just because of the lack of defensive. The fact that melee combat doesn't work as good as it should. But yeah, I feel like everything else in this game though is just like, that's the only thing that this game has over Friday the 13th right now for me. It's just the feeling of chasing. And again, I guess if you're the kind of person that likes perks, that's into Call of Duty for the sake of like, oh, I got this awesome kill streak this time, then I'm going to combine that with this death streak or whatever. If you like that stuff, maybe you like this more. But again, Friday the 13th all the way, by far. This game you also have to, well, I guess both games now, you kind of just have to accept, like, I'm going to just die a lot if I play as a survivor. And most of the time it's going to be really lame. Sometimes you get a good match, but most of the time it's going to be just, you're dead before you really had an opportunity to do anything, and you're just out of the game. At least this game gives you all the experience points. This person used that offering. Had I used my yellow one, that would have overrode those, or theirs. And the killers get those too. The killers have their own loadouts. This is going to be the last game I do, and I have to go to, quote, work. Ooh, this guy knows I'm coming over because my phone is off, so I can't call him. I need to go over there to earn money so I can turn my phone on, so then I can call him. Hooray. I think it's raining. The current Friday the 13th tactic is, if you start near a car, get away from the car as soon as you can. Get away from the car and hope you don't end up in a building with a power generator, because if Jason doesn't see a person near the car, usually the second place to go is the generator, and then you destroy it, and then everybody kind of lets out a shriek, and it just sort of like gives away their location early on. See, there's a chest. So now this toolbox that I brought with me is kind of useless. So I don't see any generators near me, which is, it's not the worst thing ever. Oh look, there's another player here that already opened that chest. Alright, so I'm going to break this. Get away from me. Get away from me. Somebody's already hit. Somebody's already down. Look at that. How long have I been in this match? I've been in this match for like less than a minute. This person's down, and the problem is that like, it's just the risk that you face is just like, well, should I go save them? And the person's the doctor too, so what happens with them is their ability is that they can put this weird effect on you that makes it so your character freaks out, basically. Look, if you look in the corner where that number 5 is, beside number 5 is basically how much of a charge I have left on this toolbox. So that person over there is fucked. So I'm going to run in, try to rescue this person. Look, they're basically sacrificing themselves because they know. They know. What's fucked up here is that this endless cycle of fucking sucks, man. It sucks so much. The cycle of I rescued this person, so now this person's on the hook because they tried to rescue them too. And at this point, most killers. See, there's a killer right there. They just sacrifice themselves because why would you stay in this game when you get screwed like that early on in the match? Fuck. That person was in the match again. That was a completely different person, but they were only in the match for what, like, Jesus, lag. Oh. I gave my position away, so now I need to get out of here. Go somewhere. Let's go over to this rock. Hopefully this killer doesn't use his ability to screw me over. There's a chest over here that I would like to get. That person is going to die. Awesome. Now I have a better tool chest. So now that I have this, let's go to this generator. I don't think this is the one I was at. Look, I'm lagging. What is this? Why? The problem with lag in this game is when you eventually do get chased, it just leads to a lot of situations where you're just like running and all of a sudden warp back a spot from where you were before. So that lets the killer know that I'm over here. Are they going to kill themselves too? Yep. Killer. They're gone. Great. This game is so it's the same thing over and over and over. And just it's a different thing from how it plays out in Friday the 13th is all I'm trying to say. This lag is killing me. I get the bold thing because I'm running around and killing Great. See, right there. Players, they're clearly not going to do anything here. So. messed up is that the characters panic. There's a hook. This game is so lame. This is intense. This is just like, oh, now I'm going to go on this hook, and because this other player is clearly just doing whatever the hell they're doing, my game is basically over. This wiggle stuff is, you think like, oh, if you hit it fast enough, you can get out, but that's not how it works. They don't have enough time to save me. I have the option to kill myself now because they touched me. So, this just doesn't, I'm not supposed to see something and struggle with it. And the other person can't do the rescue. Because once you get hit like this, there's nothing you can do. There's no, you can get a medic kit you can kind of use private on yourself, but there's no point in doing this. So I'm struggling, I'm sitting here mashing the space bar. This is, look at this. You struggle and you get 493 experience points. What is that? It's nothing. For how long I'm sitting here holding spacebar and how big that meter is, they need to give you more for something. There needs to be more to this game. That's what I mean. The fact that it's so dependent on your perks is just not fun to me. And the fact that, again, like my freaking level when I started this game off, my survivor rank was almost at 3 pips. I could have finally gone up for the first time. But because I had these bad games or whatever, just, you know, messing around with this, like, it just went down. I lost an item, I lost the thing I was equipped to it. Like, I don't understand. How is this fun? How is this fun? And look, I got the most experience points for a survivor, but that's still nothing. This person down here got 986. They got 986 points for him. Like, there's just something, I don't know what they could do to this game to make it more appealing. But clearly something just isn't working here to me. I don't know, the killer got 14,606 for the same amount of time. Anyway, whatever, I'm going to head to work. This game is not nice. It's so close to being good. It's so close. But it's just not right there. Anyway, I'll see you later. Peace.